The government's announcing increased support for colleges through the Active College Network programme, which is a £1.5 million programme over 2 years through Sport Scotland, which is designed to make sure that we can have much greater activity in sport and leisure and activity within the college network as part of supporting the physical and mental well-being of college students. It's absolutely vital that in all circumstances we are all taking steps to look after our health and well-being, and this is one contribution which can help in that respect.
And just to move on to other things, on Friday, COSLA pulled their support for the National Care Service. Can the government seriously continue on with this?
Yes, because it's necessary for the people of Scotland to be assured that across the country there are the strongest possible standards of care and a consistency of approach to care that meets the needs of individuals. That's what the National Care Service is all about, and we want to make sure that we work with local partners to bring that about. That's exactly what the government will do, and as the Health Secretary said over the weekend, there is always space for further dialogue on how we take that agenda forward.
But on that further dialogue, surely the government's going to have to move a long way to get COSLA to agree to the National Care Service as a whole?
Let's see where all this dialogue goes. I think it's important that we're able to assure people in all parts of the country about the quality and the nature of the care to which their loved ones have some requirement. And we have to make sure we have the arrangements in place to make sure that's delivered effectively in all parts of the country. So we've taken forward a number of reforms which have aimed to do this around the integration of health and social care, around joint boards. We've focused on these measures, and we still have challenging issues about the delivery of care. That's why the National Care Service is important, and that's why the government believes it's a reform. It's a reform that was suggested by an independent review that looked at the whole delivery of health and social care in Scotland, and that's why we'll engage further on these questions.
So trade unions have stated their opposition to this. Opposition parties have done the same now. COSLA, are you willing to just go back to the drawing board as it pertains to the National Care Service?
Well, we'll have dialogue about how we take forward the National Care Service proposals. The bill is in Parliament just now. We'll work to take that forward. What's important is that we focus on the purpose of the National Care Service, which is about improving the care and the quality of care that's available to individuals in the country.
And just quickly, the Scottish Tories on Friday elected a new leader who presumably were at least around Russell Finlay on Saturday. Have you had any conversations with him at all?
Well, I telephoned him on Friday night to congratulate him on his election. That's what you should do in these circumstances, and we had a brief conversation about his priorities and mine, and our willingness to engage in these issues in and around about Parliament. Obviously, we saw each other at Parliament on Saturday.
You've obviously been big on trying to restore sort of grown-up politics and people being able to work across party. Do you think you can work with Russell Finlay?
I've every intention of trying to work across the political spectrum in the Scottish Parliament. The government does not command a majority in the Scottish Parliament, so we've got to work to create agreement around different policy propositions, and we will take forward these discussions with all parties in Parliament.
And over the weekend, your predecessor has come in for a bit of stick in the newspapers. He's been accused of breaching the ministerial code in relation to his parents-in-law leaving Gaza. Just firstly, as a point of fact, can you as First Minister instruct an investigation into the former minister about their conduct when they were First Minister, and also will you do that?
I think what's important is to focus on the central point in this whole story, which is about the fact that we had citizens from this country who were trapped in Gaza in an awful conflict, and they had to be supported to be brought home. We've got the same situation just now in Lebanon, where there are potentially citizens trapped in an awful conflict and they need to be brought home. Indeed, the Prime Minister has advised any British citizen in Lebanon to come home, and the Foreign and Commonwealth Office is providing the support to enable that to be the case. Now, we've been in touch with the Foreign Commonwealth and Development Office on that question about Lebanon, as members of the public would expect me to be, as they would expect my predecessor to have been in touch on the Gaza situation. So this is the normal routine business of government, where when your citizens are held in a difficult situation of conflict, you do your best to get them out.
So will you order an investigation into Humza Yousaf's conduct?
I have no intention of doing so.